Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sideline Eye podcast. We're in Clonus here, and we're only after witnessing Armagh qualify for the first Ulster final in 15 years. I'm delighted to be joined by Oisin McConville. And Oisin, you were playing the last time Armagh reached the Ulster final. It's been a long time coming.
I was on the bench, I think, in 08, but I think the last time Armagh and Derry played in an Ulster final was 2000, so involved in that one, and good memories from that, and a similar result would be great now, because I actually thought Armagh were very good second half today. I thought they lacked probably a wee bit of energy maybe first half, but second half was very impressive, and the score could have been anything really in the end, but Armagh probably deserved it. There was like would they win by 10 or 11 points? I didn't think that was undeserved. I thought that was just about right for the quality of football they played in the second half.
And just on that first half, was there maybe nerves would play into that, Oisin? And then once the goals went in, it sort of just quality took over from then?
Yeah, definitely. And I think once Down had to come out and play, we have to get ahead of them. And it's a very tricky game if you don't get ahead of them. And I think, watching Derry's is the exact same thing. If you go out chasing a game against Derry, they just keep picking you off. And that's what Down, I suppose, we're hoping for today. But Armagh just had too much physicality, too much strength and athleticism, and finished the game really, really strongly as well.
And 4 goals, 4 different goal scorers as well. You had Andrew, Shane, Rian, and I'm not sure who got the other one. Maybe Jordy O got a touch on the fourth one, I'm not sure. Ciaran McKeever, he must have got the one that the long ball come in. So 4 different goal scorers as well. Armagh, maybe we were a wee bit critical of them not scoring goals during the league, but 4 today was a perfect response.
Yeah, no, four goals, and I think, Armagh targeted, obviously they fed down at a bit of a weakness in the full back line. Targeted the hay ball in. Oh yes, they got goals off that, but the one that I liked was Rian's, and not just because it was Rian, but Rory Grugan showed a load of energy. Turned the ball over one side, McQuillan on to Stephen Campbell, and he gave us a serious amount of energy in that second half when he come in. Played the ball into the corner of Rian, and Rian finished it well, but just thought that epitomised what we were like in the second half. It showed energy, precision, and I thought when we got the opportunities we didn't look as if we were going to miss them.
On the bench as well made a good impact, Oisin, with you mentioned Campbell come on, scored a point, Comusky and Aidan Nugent as well all scored.
Yeah, and even young Connolly come on. I know he's raw, but he has that extra little bit of pace, and he's bringing a lot to the party. So yeah, there's still obviously a few players to come back in. A few players didn't get game time today, so yeah, there's a lot of positives from today. You know what I mean? People say about Down or whatever. I mean, Down's just in a different place than where I'm at. We were there once, and you had to build and build and build. And I think Down will be all right in the future, obviously, because they have a lot of stuff coming through and just need a bit more continuity now. But yeah, from an Armagh point of view, it's just great to be in an Ulster final.
Would you be concerned, Oisin, that Armagh have had to beat 3 Division 3 teams and it's going to be a serious step up in class now against Derry in 2 weeks' time?
I would if we hadn't been playing Division 1 football, but the fact that we've been playing Division 1 football, and I think as much as we got relegated, we certainly will have learned a hell of a lot from what went on during the league. We're playing against good, opposition. They'll know what to expect. So, at the end of the day, Derry, I know they've been very, very impressive, and again, very impressive last night. They played Division 2 football, so maybe there's not as much scarring there, as maybe other teams who had to plough that, because that Division 1 is tough. But the fact that Armagh have played that, it takes the worry away from the fact that we've beaten 3 Division 3 teams.
And how impressed have you been with Derry, and how difficult is this going to be for Armagh?
I think the biggest thing for me about Derry is actually, everybody talks about the defence, and there's no doubt that a lot of what they're doing is built on defence, but going forward now it looks good as anybody, you know what I mean? And they have, 12 months ago you take McGuigan out of it, don't have that many other options. They have Cassidy, they have Ethan Doherty, they have Glasses popping up with a couple of scores. They could afford to bring Heron off the bench, and they just look as if they've really sorted themselves out going forward, and they seem to have a nice little balance there now. Who's the one that I would look at is the goal that Carl O'Connell got, and he went right through the middle of their defence. So that gives hope for everybody. And I think again, Armagh have a better set of forwards than Monaghan have. So that's, we're going to give them plenty to do, as much as obviously defensively have to be sound, and we need to obviously win our fair share, our lane share of kickouts and all that. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we are giving them plenty of worries going forward.
And Aisling, just before I let you go, how much does Ulster mean? Because I know the provincials, they're dying and everything, but the Ulster one's still the one with a heartbeat going. And for Armagh fans, it's huge to get to an Ulster final and hopefully in 2 weeks' time get our hands on an Ulster title as well.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt about it. Ulster still means a hell of a lot. You watch the Munster Hurling Championship, it still means a hell of a lot. I mean, just because there are provinces that, it's not as competitive as it needs to be, doesn't take away anything from Ulster. And look, let's be realistic about it. This group of players probably need an Ulster title now, and if they can get it in 2 weeks, who knows what that can do for the belief of going into those round robin games.
Good stuff, Aisling. Thank you. Ciaran, goals win games.
Yeah, look, I suppose you boys were saying a lot through the league that we couldn't score goals, but we created loads of opportunities throughout the league. We just weren't efficient or effective and ruthless enough. But we knew that the boys that would come, and we worked hard on it throughout the National League. We worked hard at after the National League. Look, I'm just delighted that we got them at the right times there today.
Ciaran, I think it was the 31st minute for Down scored a point in the first half of play, and something like the 34th minute in the second half. That's maybe even a more important stat.
Yeah, look, I suppose with you coming in here today, I was involved in Down club football for 4 years, so I wanted a good insight of all them players. They love a counter-attacking again, they love getting in behind teams with their pace, and throughout the Down club football, they just love scoring goals. And we knew if we didn't cough up any goal opportunities today, that they would struggle to break us down, they would struggle to kick points from distance, and and obviously they got a couple of free kicks along the way that just kept them within touching distance. But from a defence point of view, I think the boys should be happy.
2008, not winning back-to-back games in the province has been rolled out loads of times since. That's 3 now. Does that mean anything in that dressing room?
I definitely do think it means a lot to that group of players. These boys have been putting in the hard slog with Armagh since probably that group took over this whole thing from 2017. There was a new team that came in, the likes of Rory Grugan, Stephen Sheridan, boys like that, Aidan Falker, and they've took their fair share of criticism down through the years, but not winning a game in Ulster Championship. And we're just delighted for that group of players to have an opportunity to play in Ulster final, for all the hard work and putting Armagh back. And that's what the ultimate thing was. Was get Armagh. Could we get Armagh back to the top table? And them boys have been excellent over the last decade trying to get that. And we're just delighted these boys have an opportunity now to go and represent Armagh in the Ulster final.
How big is the Division 1 thing? Because obviously it's when you get up there, I think managers always make the point of saying that how different it is. How big is that experience?
I think it's massive. I think it's massive. I suppose the media, the supporters, probably felt this should have happened a long time ago. But and Darren was probably getting that same kudos this week in the media. But you have to dine and play at the top table, for game management, just seeing out games, controlling games. It's a completely different aspect in Division 1, and I think over this last 3 years has definitely had this group of players, and it's got these boys ultimately to the Ulster final. I think their game management over the last 2 years has been pretty good.
And Andrew had one Munster game there. He won the kick out after Ian went down, punched the goal, obviously won the kick out for Jamar's points, and then kicked his own a couple of minutes later. He must be thrilled to get out of him.
Oh yeah, look, Zandy said there others.
Yeah.
Look, we all know in Armagh what Andrew's all about. He's a massive team player first and foremost, and he just adds so much to the squad of players. And I thought he was excellent there today, and he was excellent last week in Cavan, and he's had an excellent campaign to date, and hopefully he can keep it going.
Just on the injuries, he limped off there, and Ciaran went off as well. How were they set for 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, look, it's very hard to assess these things in the immediate aftermath. Look, we'll let them recuperate, and we'll get a proper assessment on the 2 boys tomorrow, and we get back together.
Ciaran, you talked about over the past few weeks about the Super 16s and being ready for the business end of the season. You find yourselves in an Ulster final now.
and it's I was giving you that Jose Mourinho stuff. You'd be pretty foolish, believe me, sometimes. But,
what a dummy that was. But in terms of he's here now, I get the Super 16s, and that is the business end and all the rest of it. But an Ulster final, like 2008, like it's a long time. It's just an Ulster final, just like any other, is it?
Yeah, look, it's an Ulster final. The finals, you want to win them. It's a national title. Ulster's held in such regard, Ulster Championship, and we've said it, we'd love not more than this group of players to get their hands on an Ulster medal, but we know the task that lies ahead in 2 weeks' time. We'll enjoy tonight. We'll get back in tomorrow to recover, and I said this past number of weeks we're not firing all our eggs in the basket, but we'll fire our eggs in the basket for 2 weeks' time, and hopefully get these boys what they deserve. I think
Derry is. Some people would say it is the ultimate test. Now, every round you go, it's going to get harder anyway. But just your assessment from afar, I know you'll do all your analysis now on Derry. You wouldn't be doing on it, but in terms of how you've sort of looked at this Derry team.
Yeah, look, we know what we're going to face. We're going to face, they're a very athletic team, all good ball players throughout the pitch. They're very well condensed and compact in defence, and when they attack forward with 15 players, and they try to flatten other teams' defences out and stuff like that. We know the challenge that lies ahead of us, but we'll be diligent in our preparation over the next 2 weeks, and we'll come with a plan, and hopefully we'll get us across the line.
Final one for me is defensively, Ciaran. Do you feel as if Armagh are better?
Yeah, look, I think we've got the better concept that you have to defend as a team. You got to defend as a team. Where potentially wasn't happening in previous years. Where I think it's a thing in Armagh where you feel that from a supporter's point of view, and the media outlets that that there's this aspect that we're too good to defend, but that's a fundamental part of the game. You've got to defend as a unit and as a team, and Derry have shown that, and you got to attack in the same manner as well. And I think we have slowly but surely started to take that in our game over the last 2 years, and and I think it's serving us well, and I think it's suiting this group of players we have, and and we'll be ready for what lies ahead in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, and just on the fans, a big turnout here today, as there always is, on getting to an Ulster final. That's a big occasion for the fans as well, and it'll be a good build-up for them for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, look, I think if you go back through the last decade, down through the years when we were jumping from Division 3 to Division 2, back to Division 3, these fans have been excellent. They've stayed with us. They've travelled in numbers. And I think this is massive for them as well. I think they're entitled to enjoy tonight, entitled to enjoy the build up over the next 2 weeks. And hopefully they'll come here in large numbers again in 2 weeks, and hopefully we can give them something else to chat about in 2 weeks' time.